Hi, early bird classroom. It is Dr. Annette Feravich here. Woo! I'm here. We got woken up later than I thought. I woke up later than I thought I was supposed to. Worked hard, and then we got some mysteries going on next door. But this is not a mysteries class. This is an early bird class. And I have to go get what did I forget? My glasses. My glasses case. That's it. So let me go run upstairs, get my glasses, and we will get started. And what are we getting started on today? Well, we are getting started on our series, right? Our series on handling our emotions. Actually, handling our ups and downs is what our series is on, right? So give me a second. I will put that up there. And I just need to get my glasses so I can read our book. And I have my glasses. And I'm all set. Are you ready? Are you ready, early birds? I am so happy you are here. And I am so happy that we are doing this series. I am. I really think that it's good for all of us to learn how to handle all of our ups and downs. As you likely know, I have a lot of ups and downs. Look at my hair. Is this an up or a down day? I don't even know. But we all have our ups and downs. I remember one time my sister was so upset with her hair that it didn't turn out. Isn't it funny how our problems seem so big when we're little? Sometimes they seem so big. And she wouldn't even go out that day because she didn't like her hair. And it looked just the same. But she had a little curl, kind of like this, that just wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. And she just had a down day is what she had. But I'm still here, to everyone's surprise. I think I'm still here. I don't think they're betting on me to be here. And I'm still here. I think they're betting on me not being here next Monday or Tuesday or whenever we're here. But I'm gonna be here, to their surprise. I got hit by a motorcycle yesterday. Just bumped me. Looks like the same guy out there. How could that possibly be? I don't even know. Just bumped me, though. Thank goodness he was okay. He was a little cuckoo, but he was okay. Thank goodness he was okay. I know. Those are everybody's life has ups and downs just like that. Everybody's life. I got hit by a motorcycle driver yesterday because he wasn't paying attention. And then you know what he did? Then he creeped up next to me. He creeped up right next to me. You know what I think you want to do? You want to look in my car. I think he was a weirdo. Looks like that guy right out there. Hey, you got a problem? Sorry, this is the early bird classroom. Sometimes we get overlap in real life. From real life, we have overlap in our classroom with real life. Don't you know it, right? Don't you know it? What I mean by that is, you know it. You have overlap in real life, and you're sitting in class and you're thinking about what? The argument your parents had, right? When you heard them, or you're thinking about how your friend got mad at you, or you're thinking about how you have to move to a new school and you're not sure what's going to happen, right? We have all kinds of things, no matter what we come to the classroom with, don't we, right? We come to the classroom with a lot of stuff. We do. And the teacher doesn't know it, and most of the people in the classroom don't know it, but we know it, right? We know it. We know it's kind of heavy on us, and it feels like a weight, and sometimes it makes us tear up when we don't want to tear up, right? These are hard times for everybody. They're hard times for everybody. They are. We have a lot of hard times. But you know what? I still laugh a lot. Even after that, I didn't laugh because that motorcycle driver, I was afraid he was hurt. I was. But he wasn't hurt at all. I think he was a stunt man. I think there's a lot of actors around here acting really funny to me. Let's get started. 101. 101 ways to improve your grammar skills. We're doing that. We're doing our series. We're doing our series on handling our ups and downs. We're doing our phonics on Wednesdays. We're doing our 101 grammar review. We're doing our alphabet. Yesterday, what did we do yesterday? We did our vocabulary words, more sight words yesterday, right? That had to do with handling our ups and downs. And what else did we learn yesterday in phonics? What else did we learn? Huh? I didn't hear you. What? You weren't here? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what else we learned. We learned prefixes and suffixes. That's what we did. Yeah, we did. We do a lot here. Even if we're not on time, we still do a lot. Even if I'm just filling my time with teaching, even if I just have to do something to fill my time. You know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. Isn't this fun? I know. I'm in my whole own world. Me and that other person out there. Hi. Hope you're nice. Hope you're learning something. Hope you enjoy the early bird classroom. Thanks for coming. Tip number 9, practice, practice, practice. And I'm going to read to you what it says here in our book because I liked it. I liked what they said. Sometimes I like to talk and use my own words, right? And sometimes I like to use their words. Sometimes their words makes me think too. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. You could be old and you could be very smart and you could still have a little scholastic book get you to think. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? I think it is. Wow, they've got some practice things here too, like spot the predicate. What's a predicate? We'll learn. Practice, practice, practice. Oh, let's pop that up there. Practice, practice, practice. Like anything else, good grammar takes practice. Reading is the easiest way to practice. Not me reading to you, although that's good practice as well, because you get practice hearing correct grammar, right? Remember what we said, reading, you're writing out loud. That's just like the hearing correct grammar helps you, right? You can also do exercises to improve your grammar. Lift weights? What? Huh? Exercises? Jumping jacks? What? You will probably do some grammar exercises in class, but even if the classroom exercises don't help you to understand a concept, then find other sources. I don't always understand concepts here, like especially in my bookless classroom, right? So I'll get a book and I'll read about a president in my bookless classroom. All those books are upstairs right now because I've been using them. So I'll read about a president in my bookless classroom, and then I'll read another book and I'll get a little bit more information. And then I'll read a different book. And some of them will be books for kids, and some of them will be books for middle schools, and some of them will be books for adults. And I get a lot of information out of my books for kids. Like this. This isn't an adult book. This is a kid's book, right? But I get a lot of information out of books for kids too. So we can get all kinds of books. Thanks, Xfinity, for the 2000s frames dropped. What's going on here? That was electronic music. Okay. But if the classroom exercises don't help you to understand a concept, then find other sources. Bookstores and teachers' supply stores sell grammar workbooks. I got most of yours from the library for like nothing, a dime. You might even be able to find some good grammar books at your local library. And then that way you can check them out as well. And you can, not might, you can. What kind of library wouldn't have grammar books? I don't even know what kind of library that is. Pick up whatever resources you need. Ask your teacher for some recommendations. And I'll tell you something else. My son's teacher, when he was having trouble reading, she gave him a reading book. Teachers love when you take the time to ask them questions. They love it. And not only that, you can get on their good side because teachers will then start asking you more questions in class. Now, if you're afraid to, talk, just say, hey, I'm afraid to talk sometimes. Tell your teacher that too. And I bet your teacher will make sure that he or she only calls on you when you're ready to be called on, right? Yeah. And don't forget, try and raise your hand sometimes. And then, you know what? If you raise your hand more and more, your teacher won't call on you, right? Why? Because she wants to give other people a chance. Yeah. Get used to it. Practice, practice, practice. Other things. Practice raising your hand. Practice asking questions. Practice reading out loud. Practice reading. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? And sometimes all that practice makes us feel overwhelmed, doesn't it? It probably does. There are people who are adults who have to learn how to read too. Can you imagine how they would feel? Can you imagine how they would feel having to learn how to read as an adult? They would probably be very scared to apply for a job, right? They would probably be probably scared that there would be questions that they would have to read that they couldn't read. Think about how overwhelmed an adult might feel who doesn't know how to read, right? Think about how overwhelmed an adult might feel if they don't know how to read. So we all feel overwhelmed. And it's the reason why we are talking today about our book on what? Handling Your Ups and Downs by Joy Wilt. So let's go ahead and get started with our book, right? We've got some, let me see what we have here. All right, so we have our 10 commandments because we were talking about our rules. So we don't want to forget about our rules, all right? Because that's what got us started here. It got us started on rules. Okay. But now we're going to go ahead. We read the introduction already, right? So we already read the introduction on Tuesday. And remember what we said here. When a person feels up, he or she experiences comfortable or good feelings, right? When a person feels down, he or she experiences uncomfortable or bad feelings, right? Okay, now remember, we learned our sight words yesterday. So all the vocabulary words for this book we learned yesterday. And there's a sight word sheet there for all the vocabulary words. Remember, part of this book is to learn about handling our ups and downs. But the other part of this book is to read along, to help to have you actually, because it's a pretty easy read book, to have you read along with me. All right, so I'm going to try and put the words up there and the book up there as close as I can to the screen without making me look like a dork. Always important. And then see if you can read when I put the words up there. Okay? All right, so we are on chapter 1. Remember what it says here? After the introduction, what did it say? It is normal and healthy for a person to have both ups and downs. Okay? Chapter 1. This is a word right here that I did not put in your sight words. Chapter. Chapter. That's a good word for you to learn. Chapter. And remember, ER is our murmur diphthong. ER is a murmur diphthong. Sounds like R, right? So chapter is a pretty easy word to sound out. And then therefore it's a pretty easy word to spell. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Feeling up. Comfortable feelings. That's a big word, isn't it? Comfort, remember? And we put the suffix on able to make it comfortable. Comfortable feelings. That's in our sight words, okay? So it's a word that you want to memorize, how to spell. Love, let me get the screen here so I've got it the way that I want it, okay? So I can get close and not look like a dork. 2 goals. 2 goals. Get close and not look like a dork. It's good to have goals. Love is feeling cared for and being valued by others. Love is feeling cared for and being valued by others. Love is an emotion. Emotion, remember that's got the SH, the medial SH sound. We learned that last Wednesday in phonics. The medial SH sound, TION. Love is an emotion that makes people feel comfortable. Look at that. See, we love our family. We love other people too sometimes, don't we? I know. I like that feeling. I do. I do like feeling in love. I do. Look at that big word right there. It's in our sight words. Okay? So in our sight words, we'll concentrate on this page, maybe not the other page right now. Okay? Acceptance is feeling liked and respected by others. Acceptance is feeling liked and respected by others. Acceptance is what's that word? What is that word? With the medial SH sound. Acceptance is an what? Emotion. Let me turn this again a little bit more. Oh, for Pete's sake, seriously? Like a little box won't even budge an inch. I have to go and get what? A Stairmaster to be able to do it. I'm turning it the wrong way. Okay. Acceptance is an what? Gave you some time to figure it out. Medial SH sound. TION. Shun. Emotion. Emotion. Look at that other word right there. What's that word right there? Motion. Motion. Right? Emotion. That makes people feel comfortable. We're talking about comfortable emotions, right? Comfortable emotions. What's comfort? What's comfortable? Makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. Security, another big word. I love these big words that are big words that make me feel good. Security is feeling safe. Those are all words you could read. Security is feeling. Feel has a suffix on it, ing. Feeling safe. Security is we already know that word, emotion that makes people feel comfortable. Now we're getting used to this sentence right there, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, pride is feeling good about oneself. That's a new word. That's in our sight words from Wednesday. Oneself and the things that one does. They're using the word one here instead of saying he or she, if you notice that. Okay, so they're saying one instead of he or she. Pride is feeling good about oneself and the things that one does. Pride is an emotion that makes people feel comfortable. We're used to this sentence now, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Let's look at the picture there too. So here, what? Taking pride, this person's painting a picture, right? Painting a picture, and they feel really good about it because pride is an emotion that makes people feel comfortable. And what was comfortable? It makes people feel good, right? Okay. Confidence is feeling that you can do things on your own without help. Do you ever go, don't help me. Don't help me. No, I want to do it myself. Do you ever do that? That is building confidence. Reading big words like confidence helps build confidence in your reading especially, right? But when you feel confident in your reading, you know what? It makes you feel more confident doing other things that you want to try on your own, like riding a bike. I know if I try hard enough, I can learn to ride this bike. See these little circles there like that? That means he's thinking that. That means he's thinking it. That's what he's thinking right there. I know if I try hard enough, I can ride this bike. And then what? And then he does. Why? Because confidence is an emotion that makes people feel what? What? Comfortable. What does comfortable mean? Good. It makes you feel good. Confidence is an emotion that makes people feel good. I knew I could do it. Took a while for my son. My younger son, my older son was probably, born riding a bike. No, he wasn't. But he was born thinking. He was born with the son like this. He was born like this. And he was always like, what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? That was him all the time. My older son. My younger son was just a bundle of joy. My older son. What's going on here? See, even in the same family, we have different personalities that like different things, right? And different things will make us feel good. And different things will make us feel confident. Even in the same house, even with brothers and sisters and brothers and sisters, there are different things that make us feel good and different things that make us feel confident. Just like my two boys. Happiness is feeling joyful and contented. Okay. Well, that's interesting. We do have another sight word, which is contented. Contented has a suffix on it, ed. Content has a suffix on it, ed, to make it past tense, in the past. Happiness is feeling joyful and contented. Happiness is an emotion that makes people feel comfortable. Look at that. That's a nice picture, isn't it? Of a lot of happiness going on there. Lots of happiness going on there. Love, acceptance, security, pride, confidence, and happiness are all feelings that make people feel comfortable. They are feelings that make people feel good. Can you think of other feelings that make people feel good? List them here. So I have a few questions on this first chapter, right? So we had an introduction and we read chapter 1 now. Let's take a look at that. So chapter 1, feeling up, comfortable feelings. On Tuesday, we're going to come back and read chapter 2 and have questions for chapter 2, which is on feeling down, uncomfortable feelings. So get ready for that. Get ready for learning about uncomfortable feelings. It's not uncomfortable to learn about uncomfortable feelings because we always have uncomfortable feelings. So you have to learn how to what? Chapter 3, handling your downs, handling your uncomfortable feelings. Okay? All right, so that's where we're going to go. Where are we now? Now what we're going to do is we are going to go to the questions. So even though that said list your other comfortable things that make emotions that make you feel comfortable, I've got that on our slide presentation. All right, so let's get to our questions. So what does it mean to feel comfortable? And what are things that you do that make you feel comfortable? What does it mean to feel comfortable? And what are things that you do that make you feel comfortable? Okay. Now, we're going to go over the questions Tuesday, on Tuesday. So I'm not going to answer the questions. And even though those are easy questions to answer, because, well, one of them is your opinion. The second question there is your opinion. What things do you do that make you feel comfortable, right? But the very first question there, it's pretty easy, right? We've talked about it the whole time that we've been reading. What does it mean to feel comfortable? It means to feel good, doesn't it? But you know what? We're going to do the answers on Tuesday. Why? Well, because it basically helps you with your memory is what it does. So we've talked about comfortable feelings on Tuesday. We skipped Wednesday. We talked today about comfortable feelings, but we also talked about prefixes and suffixes, which was yesterday's lesson. And next Tuesday, we're going to be answering these questions. Do you see how all of this ends up being a little bit of a review? We could answer all these questions today and be done with it. But if we answer them on Tuesday, it helps us remember it again and then remember it better for the long time, for the long term, right? For all time. It helps us remember it all the time. All right? So we'll be answering the questions on Tuesday, just like we have done in our stories. All right? What does it mean to feel uncomfortable? What is a time when you felt uncomfortable? Now, these are questions from the introduction, too. So we've got questions from chapter 1, and we have questions from the introduction. So in the introduction, it told us, what does it mean to feel uncomfortable? Do you remember? Do you remember what it means? And then what is a time when you felt uncomfortable? Think about a time when your uncomfortable feelings were good for you. Talk about it with someone and ask questions too. Think about a time when your uncomfortable feelings were good for you. Talk about it with someone, and ask questions too. The biggest thing here is that remember what the book said. The book said that uncomfortable feelings can be good for you. And that was in the introduction. Uncomfortable feelings can also make a person grow and change for the better. Whoops, here we go. This is a little review for you. Uncomfortable feelings can also make a person grow and change for the better. And uncomfortable feelings can help a person appreciate his or her comfortable feelings. I want you to think about that. We read that. We talked about it a little bit. Now we have some questions. I want you to try and think about that, about uncomfortable feelings and how they might be good for you. I'll give you another example. Think about it in the classroom, right? Think about it when you're in the classroom and you feel uncomfortable about asking a question. Is that good for you or is that bad for you? What do you think? When you're in the classroom and you feel uncomfortable about asking a question, about raising your hand, do you think that that's good for you or bad for you? What do you think? Okay? I want you to think about it. And then again, talk about it. You can talk about it and ask questions. Ask somebody if they know how uncomfortable feelings might be good for them. And ask them if they have a story about when uncomfortable feelings were good. Do you think that uncomfortable feelings can help you appreciate comfortable ones? Appreciate here means to be thankful for. So do you think that you could be thankful for and appreciate comfortable feelings when you feel uncomfortable? Why is it normal and healthy to have both ups and downs? If you remember in our story, it said that it's normal and healthy to have both ups and downs. Why do you think it's normal and healthy? Why do you think it's normal and healthy to have both ups and downs? You know, as we get older and sometimes in our teen years, we think we're not supposed to feel bad. And then we go on Instagram or we go on some social media and we see that everybody is feeling comfortable and nobody's feeling uncomfortable. And then we start to think that maybe it's only normal to feel comfortable and it's not normal to feel uncomfortable. And that's not what Joy Wilt tells us. Joy Wilt tells us that it is normal and healthy to feel comfortable and uncomfortable. And that reminds us that sometimes uncomfortable feelings can be good for us. I have a time when I think uncomfort, and I think it's important to tell people when uncomfortable feelings are good for you. And that's when you are in danger. Right? When you're in danger, you don't feel comfortable. And that's good for you to know so that you know if you felt good when you were in danger, what would you do? Hey, pretty little lion, it's okay. Look at those big sharp teeth you have. What strong jaws you have. Look at how you could pick me up like a rag doll. It's good to have uncomfortable feelings to keep us safe, right? Okay. What is love? Does love make you feel comfortable? Talk about a person you love and how they make you feel. Love is supposed to make you feel comfortable. Now, sometimes we feel a little like butterflies in our stomach, don't we? When we feel like we kind of like somebody, we sometimes feel funny in our stomachs, right? And we call that butterflies. I still do too. Even when we're big, we still feel that. If I meet somebody new and I like them, sometimes I have these little butterflies in my stomach, right? Or sometimes it's really exciting to meet somebody that you really, really like. What is love? And does love make you feel comfortable? Because it should. Love should make you feel comfort. It should make you feel like a warm pair of arms around you. That's what love should feel like. It should feel like Lucy does when she's baking in the sunshine and I pick her up. Like just a hot water bottle is what she feels like. That's what love should feel like. It should feel just like warm and cuddly little Lucy. That's what it should feel like. Talk about a person you love and how they make you feel comfortable. Sometimes there are people that we love or we're supposed to love, like an aunt or an uncle, but they don't make us feel comfortable. That's good too to know, isn't it? Because knowing when we're uncomfortable is good for us too, we said, right? But real love should make us feel comfortable. It doesn't mean that sometimes we don't get the butterflies and you're like, that's not love. I feel butterflies. I don't like it. No. Butterflies sometimes make us want to what? Fly towards one another. Right? Even if we're scared. Even if sometimes we're scared, it makes us fly towards one another, doesn't it? We're still like, hey, what are you doing? I'm behind here. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you listening to? What is acceptance? How does acceptance make you feel comfortable? When was there a time when you felt accepted and it made you feel good? So acceptance was another word that we learned that makes us feel comfortable. What is it? How does acceptance make you feel comfortable? And when was there a time when you felt accepted and it made you feel good? What is security? What is security? Can you think of a time when you felt secure? How did you feel? Well, I just said I felt secure. No, tell me more. Tell me more. Don't just use a word to define a word. Tell me more about when you felt secure. What is pride? What is pride? How can pride make you feel good? Can you think of a time when you were proud of something you did? Was anyone else proud of you too? What is confidence? What is confidence? What do you do that makes you feel confident? Tell me what you do that makes you feel confident. When do you feel most happy? When do you feel most happy? What do you do that makes you feel happy? Talk about it with your best friend. Now that right there kind of assumes that you have a best friend. You know, one of the reasons why I put that question there was for you to think about, do you have a best friend? Do you have a best friend? And maybe you have a couple of friends, but you don't know if they're your best friends. That's okay too. But here's what I want to tell you. It used to be a long time ago that we all could name about 3 good friends. On average, if you were to ask somebody, 25 years ago, can you name some friends? They would be able to name about 3 good friends. Can you name your good friends? They would be able to name about 3. Do you know on average how many people can name, how many friends they name now? On average, how many friends people name now when we say how many friends do you have? On average, 0 to 1. That's it. That's it. Many people don't even have one good friend. That's kind of hard, isn't it? But it's not good to only have, you know, no good friends. Many people have zero good friends, not just one. Many people have zero good friends. Many people have zero good friends. And so we have to kind of try and think about that. Maybe we need to learn how to make friends. Maybe we need to try and trust some people. Maybe we have to be trustworthy ourselves. But we want to try and figure out ways that we can try and have at least one and hopefully two good friends. Okay. What else do we have here? Can you think of other feelings that make you feel good? That's what they asked on the last page of our book, right? The last page of chapter 1, if you remember. So what did they ask us on the last page of chapter 1? Can you think of other feelings that make you feel good? So right here, it says, can you think of other feelings that make you feel good? List them here. So you could talk to somebody about other feelings that make you feel good. The ones we talked about were love, acceptance, security, pride, confidence, and happiness. These are all feelings that make us feel comfortable. Okay, this is Dr. Annette Feravich, and I am here in the Early Bird Classroom. Thanks for joining me in the Early Bird Classroom. We will see you back here on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, right around 8 o'clock. Just depends on what. If I'm having a good hair day and I can get here on time. That's what it all depends on. The hair. It's the hair. It's you that's important. Not the hair. It's you. Dr. Annette Feravich, I'm the teacher. Thanks for joining me here.